The strikes were a spectacular military success.
Your bold decision to target Iran's nuclear facilities with the awesome and righteous might of the United States will change history.
It's happened. After weeks of ambiguity, the US has officially entered the war between Israel and Iran. Early Sunday morning, US warplanes and submarines launched coordinated strikes on 3 Iranian nuclear facilities. On your screens are the sites that US President Donald Trump said were totally obliterated: Natanz nuclear facility, Isfahan nuclear site, and Fordow, a uranium enrichment plant. Bunker buster bombs were used for airstrikes, as one of the key nuclear sites, Fordow, is believed to be buried 80 meters deep beneath a mountain. This US bomb is called the GBU-57 MOP. Now, it is unclear what damage the attack has had on the nuclear sites, but Iranian officials have confirmed the facilities were struck, but denied it had suffered a major blow. Hassan Abedini, Deputy Political Director of Iran's state broadcaster, said that Iran had evacuated the 3 nuclear sites a while ago, and that Iran did not suffer a major blow because the materials had already been taken out. And that means they had an inkling that the US might attack. Now, this escalation follows a domino of events that began with Hamas's October 7 attack on Israel, spiraled into Israel-Hezbollah skirmishes, and ultimately the fall of the Assad regime in Syria, another Iran ally. And now, with the US officially involved, we ask, what happens next? And I have 5 possibilities to talk about. Let's take a look in this video. Iranian state TV warned that every American citizen or military personnel in the region is now a target. Iran still has a substantial arsenal of ballistic missiles after manufacturing and hiding these away for years. And not just that, it has a target list of around 20 US bases to choose from in the broader Middle East. Bahrain hosts the US Navy's 5th Fleet, a key hub since 1948, with deep water ports for aircraft carriers, anti-mine vessels, and Coast Guard ships. In Qatar, the massive Al Udeid Air Base is home to CENTCOM's forward headquarters and rotating combat aircraft, including the 379th Air Expeditionary Wing. Iraq hosts 2,500 US troops at Al-Assad and Al-Harith bases, both frequently targeted by Iran or its proxies, especially since the killing of Qasem Soleimani. Syria has the Al-Tanf garrison near the Jordan-Iraq border, part of US-led efforts against the ISIS. In Kuwait, Ali al-Salem Air Base and Camp Arif Jan serve as vital logistics and command centers just 20 miles from Iraq. And in the UAE, Al Dhafra Air Base houses F-22 surveillance drones and the Gulf Air Warfare Center. Heightened security alerts have been issued across embassies, consulates, and even cultural sites in the United States. With the US now directly involved, Israel may choose to go after Iran's elite military corps, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Israeli media quoted officials saying all areas are now in essential activity mode, with schools shut, gatherings banned, and only critical services operating. Scenario 3. Iran unleashes its proxies. Iran could activate Hezbollah in Lebanon, Shiite militias in Iraq, the Houthis in Yemen, and Hamas in Gaza, all part of what Iran calls its axis of resistance. But most of these groups are stretched thin, fractured by internal rifts, and facing local pressures. Yet even one proxy strike could provoke an all-out regional conflict. China and Russia are calling for restraint, but signaling quiet support for Iran. China accused President Trump of pouring oil on the fire and urged Israel to cease hostilities. Russia, meanwhile, warned the US against military intervention. Neither country wants direct conflict, but both would benefit from a distracted and overextended America. Yes, do nothing. This could spare it from further US attacks. It could even choose the diplomatic route and rejoin negotiations with the US. But doing nothing makes the Iranian regime look weak. especially after all its warnings. It may decide the risk of weakening its grip on its population outweighs the cost of further US attacks. Well, that's all for today. For more such explainers, stay tuned to the Internet Express. Thank you so much for watching.